We're having conversations about writing still continuing to be our central focus, and no matter what subject you teach, getting that writing across to the kids. Mapping is coming soon. Mrs. McClish, being a teacher on assignment, having to do some things for her admin license and log some hours for professional development, I am having her work with staff, and we're going to be revamping our curriculum maps to newly aligned revised standards. And we're going to be working especially in the columns of instructional strategies, like you said, how the teachers teach, the resource column, and the assessment column to try to develop common assessments. We're working on data analysis. All teachers have the students' data folders. I designed a form, and they're analyzing each child individually and having a goal for that child for the year. Could be a social-emotional goal, could be an academic goal. Because if we're not meeting those basic needs socially and emotionally, they're not going to learn. So we have to be realistic and meet the kids with what they need. Gifted professional development occurred this summer. Three of my staff members went, and 3 more are going to go in a couple weeks and do the development. Our professional growth plan meetings are taking place. OTEST scheduling is happening. In order to comply with Senate Bill 316, our 3rd grade guarantee, things are in full swing. They're doing diagnostic testing. Each student will get a RIM. Not just kids that don't score on track, but kids who we don't think will get the promotion score on the fall administration will get a RIM plan. Some dates there. It's still Grandparents Week. I put the schedule in board share for you if you'd like to come visit one day for Grandparents Day. It's happening all week at school. Thank you to the high school for inviting us to the community pep rally this Friday. And we have Picture Day coming up. I'd like to thank Dixon, as Mr. Mook said, really strong start to the year, smooth start. Everybody got done what they needed to get done to make the kids feel welcome, the families feel welcome, and now the grandparents of the community. Melina Orr and I met. We're going to do the Oasis Food Pantry Backpack Program again, and 18 of our kids are getting Saturday breakfast, Sunday breakfast, lunch both days, a snack both days, and a dinner both days in a backpack that they can make. Like if you have a mom that works second shift or she sleeps in the morning because she just got off of work, the kids can prepare these meals themselves. The American Legion Women's Auxiliary donated 10 backpacks with school supplies. Columbiana bus drivers and Mrs. Best, our transportation coordinator, came to open house night. That is a blessing because parents want to know what time you're picking my kids up, what bus number do they get on, and that postcard sometimes just isn't enough for them. They want to make contact with the bus driver. So that was a great night. Thank you to them. Thank you to Charty Construction. They donated money for us to upkeep and maintain the playground, and Rotary for including us in Operation Warm Coat again. And best of luck to all our new employees. That's my board report.
Kim, you want to talk a little bit about hurricane relief that we're doing?
For hurricane relief, Mason Dickinson, one of the first grade teachers, met with the rest of the first grade staff because children were asking questions when Hurricane Harvey first occurred. When kids my age bring something in, a question of theirs is, do you know what time the hurricane's coming? They don't have that ability to think how far away that is, what impact it's having on those people, especially those children. So what we do is to build that compassion and empathy in them. We had them bring items in that they might need. And I just had this conversation with Mr. Martin. They bring like diapers and toothbrush and toothpaste, and for them to make that connection, you know, the monetary collections that we're doing rest of the district-wide are great, but it wouldn't make sense for my kids because they don't know where their stuff comes from. They just know they need that stuff, where the older kids know it takes money to buy that stuff. So my kids actually bringing those items in. You know, the collection's happening down in the first grade hallway, and everybody's just pitching in, bringing in stuff. Salvation Army's going to come with a truck on the 26th at 9 o'clock in the morning and pick things up. So it's a great thing that they're doing.
And we made a connection with Latonia High School, Mr. Mino, and we're going to do some collections between the 2 districts to send down, and we'll have some collection jugs at the game this week. And we're going to be able to add to the funds that are necessary to help rebuild. So some things that are happening in terms of hurricane relief.
Okay. Columbiana Middle School Clipper Pride Report is in board share. Special thanks to Columbiana County Career and Tech Center. They received some new technology and they donated smart boards. We're receiving 4 smart boards and 4 projectors. Those have already been picked up by Josh Boone and currently being installed in our classroom. So thanks to them for that. Some events and dates that have happened and will be coming up. Open house orientation was August 21st and 22nd. Amazing turnout. I really couldn't believe it. 6th through 8th grade, we had a really solid showing. Grade 5, we had 98 students enrolled at the time of open house. 93 of them were there with parents. So 93 out of 98 were here. They were able to meet with parents, go through a modified bell schedule, get their schedule, find their locker, and so forth. And then we went over some policy student handbook stuff with them as well. We were able to tell how many were here based on who received the schedule, and in 6th grade I would say we were around 80%, and 7th and 8th grade we were around 45 to 50%, which is still pretty amazing to get those numbers throughout those grade levels. School pictures were September 6th. Most students will be happy with those pictures. If they're not or they were absent, our makeup is October 3rd in the morning. September 15th, Mrs. Sharshan had already mentioned our district-wide pep assembly in the afternoon. Students and staff are excited to get out there. And I'll cross this off my list, the joint hurricane relief effort. But I would like to just add that I think that it's nice for students to be able to see multiple school districts come together at a time where maybe we compete in other areas to come together for the common good when necessary. I think that's a really powerful message. September 28th, we're going to have our first middle school only pep assembly in order to promote school spirit just within the middle school. I had a conversation with Mr. Mook about recognition for our middle school students, middle school sports, middle school academics, student government, and so forth. So although we'll often still go to the high school when we're invited, we're going to do some middle school assemblies as well. And although it's a long time from now, I just found this date out yesterday, so I thought I would pass it forward. May 7th through 9th is Camp Fitch. Academics, Constitution Day is typically September 17th when our Constitution was finalized. That's a Sunday, so Constitution Day at school will be Monday, September 18th. And teachers have already told me a lot of the great things they have going on with special activities, projects, and so forth. Students create Constitution comics and videos and so forth, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Analyzing data, middle school staff, I'm learning, is really adept at analyzing the data that we receive back from the state. And we get different reports from time to time throughout the year. They've really taken a lot of time with the family reports that they've received. Just this week, we've received item analysis reports that I'll be distributing to our staff, and we'll be analyzing that next. Powerful report, you can see the exact standard from each question, and you can see what percentage of your students got 0 points, 1 point, 2 point, 3 points, 4 points for that response. So teachers will be able to see pretty quickly, overall population-wise, where are we struggling a little bit, where do we need to spend more time, and so forth. Gifted, I'd like to welcome Debbie Deffenbaugh from Columbiana County ESC. She's joining us to work with our gifted population. We're very fortunate to have Ms. Rogers with us and Mrs. Baylor, who are licensed gifted intervention specialists, but we're bringing her in to help us out as well. We have a 30 hours of training this year, 30 hours of training next year requirement that she will help us with, but we're also, along with identifying and servicing English language arts, we're also this year, although we've always identified, we're now servicing math as well. So our gifted parents are very happy to see that happen. House Bill 410, attendance letters went home explaining the new requirements, the days to hours conversion and so forth. So parents seem to understand that, and we'll be having meetings with them as time goes on. Real quick, some noteworthy accomplishments. The Ohio Center of Law-Related Education has asked Mrs. Brown to serve as a state mentor teacher for them due to her work with the National We the People program. As a state mentor, Brandy will present in Columbus this October to this year's federal grant recipients from Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. So congratulations to Brandy Brown on that. Clipper Sports, just real quick. It's been a pleasure to go out and see all of our sports programs. Football, we started 0-2. We don't have a whole lot of depth in football. We have 14 to 15 kids depending on the week and who's injured and so forth, which creates some of its own issues. But students are really learning fundamentals and learning teamwork and working with each other. So we're looking to see some improvement there, hopefully. And we play this Thursday at Latonia, 5 o'clock. Cross country this past week, a week ago from today, September 5th, we actually had a pretty amazing evening for boys and girls. Every middle school cross country student had set a new personal record. So I'd just like to mention those individuals because that's pretty amazing. They all did it on the same day. Nate Burnell, Joe Brown, Dorian Pleka, Noah Salopek, Grace Davis, and Aaron DiTilio all had new personal records last Tuesday. We run again tonight and Saturday at Boardman Spartan Invitational. Volleyball, 7th grade is 6-1, coming off of their first loss last night against Latonia here. And 8th grade is 5-2. We travel to East Palestine this Thursday. Overall, we've had a great start to the school year, and we're really looking forward to some of our upcoming events. Thank you.
Columbiana High School Board Report. It's also on board share. First, I'd like to just comment on the report card. I hope you realize what an outstanding report card that is. There's so many different ways you can get zapped for having a deficiency. I saw the special ed scores of an A. I mean, that is such a hard grade to achieve. So I think we need to worry about our own house, but when we do start comparing, that's going to be an incredible report card. And on behalf of the principals, you know, you gave a lot of credit to a lot of people. I've been around a long time, been in a lot of different schools, different boards. We appreciate how well you all work together. You know, Mr. Mook and Kathy, you know, they're great central office administrators, and it doesn't seem to us like that you get bogged down talking about what we're doing. You guys have a united front, which makes it much more streamlined and easier for us. You want to say? You've talked a lot. Go ahead and say some more.
At our meeting, we just went to a meeting and we also learned how important EMIS is for that report card. You don't get that report card unless all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. So Mrs. Bacon, amazing job with all that data.
Okay. She's retired.
Anything else?
No. That's all you.
Okay. But I just wanted to point that out. I think that helps streamline what we're doing. I'd like to start off with just acknowledging he's not here. He's our golf coach at the golf match. I'm sure Mr. Martin will back me up on what a great job Mr. Jackson has done as first-time administrator in a new position. He's taken on, you know, gifted, the new House Bill 410 attendance. So he's taken on some new things to him as a new administrator, and he's done a great job. First, I'd like to talk about the STEAM program. The STEAM program is under the direction of Tricia Misos, and we were featured today on Channel 27. The students were filmed preparing graphics for t-shirts and actually making the t-shirts, and samples are here tonight. So we have a member of the STEAM program, Marissa Less, and she has some gifts for the board that were made in our lab. So.
And Marissa was on 27. Was it this morning?
Yeah.
So Marissa, you're actually a Hollywood personality now.
Yeah. You must have got up early to that.
Yeah. Way early.
Thank you.
This was the product they made on Monday.
It's awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Excited.
Okay. Marissa, you don't have to stay for the rest of the board. Okay. I know you have things to do.
We want to see it, Bob.
Yeah, take a look at them. I learned a little bit about ethics today that's we were saying that those were shirts being made for you, and we actually had to be making the shirts. We couldn't just make any shirt.
That was
So
very cool.
those are the ones we actually said that we could make.
Thanks for coming today, Marissa.
Yeah, thank you, Marissa.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Oh, look at that.
Very nice.
I think this is too big for me.
You didn't ask him, did you?
They also make
I
they also make milkshakes, so maybe we'll get that.
That's cool. That's
future meeting.
awesome. It is. Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome,
know.
awesome.
Very nice.
They try not to repeat anything that's already been given by the principal reports, but Clipper Sports, our fall Clipper sports teams, have taken to the field, the court, the course, the links. Cheerleaders have really worked hard and done a great job of creating school spirit. Two teams to point out is our golf teams are really racking up some wins. And yeah, that's a difficult sport. One bad night and your season can be over once we get to the playoffs, but it looks like we got a chance for our golf team to make a run as far as state playoffs. Columbiana High School, under the direction of Ms. Heasley, continues to provide random drug screenings for our students. Also, students are involved in activities. We continue those. We just had one last week. I'd like to also point out the Clipper Marching Band has been off to a fantastic start under the direction of Mr. Miller. Outstanding performances to the community. I mean, they've been performing multiple places. They performed at the park for the community. They performed at the fair for all the people at the fair. They were in the parade. We've had 3 football games where they've led us with enthusiasm and spirit. So I'd like to acknowledge what a great job Mr. Miller has done with the band. Mrs. Sharshan touched on this. I think Mr. Martin did also. Teacher evaluations are beginning soon, official evaluations, but we have fantastic teachers here. We're always evaluating and looking at ways we can help them. And we will be doing that, getting that process started soon. School safety. Columbiana High School held its first school safety meeting today in the media center. Emergency operations were reviewed and updated. Today we gave specific attention to lockdown procedures in the event we have an intruder in the building. The staff will review and prepare for multiple threat levels that could arise from an intruder in the building. And just some upcoming events to be aware of besides us being concerned about our academic excellence. We do also want to continue our school spirit, and we have the all-district pep rally at Firestone Park this Friday at 1:30. Several high school teachers have been involved in planning that. They've done a great job. I checked just earlier. It looks like the weather's going to blow through Thursday. Earlier in the week we thought maybe we were going to get rained out, but it looks like the rain's going to be out of here by Thursday night. Then Friday night is the football game at home at Latonia. This is senior night for all the fall activity participants. Mr. Mook already talked about our hurricane relief. October 2nd to the 6th is Spirit Week, with the homecoming game on Friday the 6th versus Wellsville. The King and Queen crowning will be at halftime. And then on Saturday, the homecoming dance will be from 8 to 11 in the CHS Commons. And that is the high school principal's report.